said,
I know
I'm
somebody
telling you,
that
engineer
handled
does
that,
not
but
know how to calculate
whenever
drainage.
Eileen said anything,
I dealt with it
like,
for 2 years.
He goes, you know, my contractor's never heard having to do this. I'm never find
they made me go in there.
Everyone ready?
It's like 150 people in there.
Start the YouTube.
It's not, but
And I was like,
you
don't
said that you're talking
ever
about, is
do
that
that
the
again.
50%
Don't
rule
ever.
over there? I would think that,
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call the September 9th, 2025 recess city council meeting to order. Go ahead and that's what we'll do.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Gracious God, we are grateful for the opportunity to serve our community. Guide us with wisdom and strength and clarity in our decisions. Bless this meeting and our city and our shared commitment to the common good. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, are there any agenda amendments needed?
not on our end.
Okay,
Mike, were you able to get, I know on the rate sheet for the depot grounds, you're able to get the information
Had
on
it
that?
added. It was a different sheet.
It is added?
Yeah.
And no change?
I had, no change. Just, I went and found my sheet from last time and
Okay.
dated it, put 25, 26, sent it to Caitlin. Thank you for that.
before we get to the consent agenda, do y'all wanna run through everything and kinda just? I
You want me
guess-
to kind of go over the notes I sent y'all this afternoon?
Yeah,
That'd be-
that'd be
that's a good
just
recap,
quick-
yeah.
Just quick recap, just again, just so public can hear it as well. Obviously, the first item is the FY '26 budget. It's the same budget that we've had at our last workshop and that we had at the public hearing. And so that, again, is, we have to legally approve that and have it adopted by the 15th. Once October 1st happens, the council has authority to amend budgets if you need to or want to. So just, we've got to get through the September 15th date. Payroll ordinance, again, that's the only change there. We did some position title changes in Public Works and Utilities. Ronnie's working on job descriptions, so just kind of the word laborer compared to meter tech or whatever he called them. So some of those have just been updated, but otherwise dollar amounts all the same. Fire department salary, police department salary, those are all, again, the numbers for the positions, the base rate were the ones that were in the payroll ordinance. The utility rate schedule, flip to that one. There it is. We did have Dr. Alan Barfield do another utility rate analysis for us. We're going to get him to come in and do a presentation to y'all, probably like a 1-hour workshop or something, that we can show you his large spreadsheet. We sent him all of our data out of Encode for all of our accounts, and he puts it in his spreadsheets and works his magic. We also give him our budget for FY '26 and our fee schedules, and then he's able to kind of tweak things, and we could sit there and go, okay, what if we change this rate? What happens with the utilities to our net revenue and expenses type of thing? So there, the change that you would see under, so water, we were at a base rate of $7 for 3,000 gallons. And so, which is unusual for, I guess, standard operating practices for utility companies. Generally, it's 2,000 or less. Waveland doesn't have any. That's part of a base rate. They just have a base rate, and then they charge every flow. So ours went from 3,000 to 2,000. About a third of our customers use less than 2,000 gallons. Half of our customers use 3,000 gallons or less. So just give you an idea of, the impact. So a lot of that probably are your fixed income people, single, retirees, a lot. In our conversation, we probably also identified maybe some second homeowners. VRBOs might also be part of those lower numbers compared to, like, my household uses, 4 of us, we're using anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 gallons a month. My daughters like to take showers.
What does that rate look, what does that, reduced rate look like? Or the rate, anything over, or what is that current rate?
It's $7.
7, okay.
So the rate stays the same.
It's gonna
just
stay, but it's gonna be the
the
threshold.
gallons,
rate
the
reduced.
threshold
Yeah.
for the base, instead of
Gotcha.
3,000 gallons, what's 2,000 gallons.
All right.
Garbage collection, the CPI kicked in, so we moved that up to 1850, and that's on both commercial and residential. The sewer flat rate, again, all sewer customers just get a flat rate across the board. We moved that from 16 to 17, so a $1 increase. The same on the on the commercial. Commercial also, the way theirs is done is also on flow. And so it was $1.25, and that's $1.50 for the commercial flow. Anything over 2,000 gallons. And that was the only changes on utility.
I got one question, I guess, or statement is the CPI for the garbage company. I think we almost ought to be following suit with that to some point, because we always go no increase, very little. We do a little bit, but we're still 3 years behind, I feel like, you know,
On what now?
utilities and different things.
This is a pretty big jump
that-
on a utility rate.
With that, just that,
With cutting the $2,000, anybody over 2,000
Gallons.
gallons,
so,
let's see,
but, I mean,
$6.36 increase.
No, you're talking about
Almost
the
a
CPI for
10%
the,
increase.
You talking about garbage?
yeah, well, they do it for a reason, because
Yeah.
costs keep going up.
Yeah.
All costs and all rates don't keep increasing like that. We don't set something at 2% a year to try to keep up. We keep giving raises, we keep doing different things, but our rates are trickling at an increase. That's why we're gonna eventually get to a point where we're gonna be like, we gotta go up $5 a month there. You sustain everything eventually instead of taking small bites.
Josh, we was gonna go up this time, with the exception of the reduction of the rate, is taking place of going up per 1,000 units.
How much do y'all project that to raise and increase?
What was that?
Ooh,
Because-
covers all our expenses, the new position in there, covers the 2 new positions in utilities. I don't have the exact amount, but it's a pretty good jump.
How many customers
So-
we have?
40, roughly commercial, residential, right at 4,300 bills.
So 4,300 of them all used another 1,000 at $2 a thousand. You're only talking 8,000 a month maybe. So you're talking about 80 to 100,000 a year increases with. That's just
Water.
everybody used it. And what
Oh,
percentage
yeah.
we thinking will
So,
be affected? You said.
huh,
What percentage did y'all say would be affected?
2/3 of it.
about
60%, 60%.
So probably about 3,500, somewhere in that, 3,300. And then the same thing with the, 336 for the wastewater, I think that amount is. And then the dollar for sewer is also 43, roughly 4,300 plus a month.
I just noticed, like I say, that harbor rates aren't increasing. We're not really increasing. We shifting a little bit to gain some revenues, but we're not really increasing rates to keep up with things. And, you know, like I said many times, we fortunate ARPA came through for sewer lines. We fortunate the wells to be forgiven and the water towers. I mean, so I still think we don't charge enough to truly maintain our system on our own. It's
And
just
again, I
my
think
feeling.
When Dr. Alan Barfield comes, he
Mhm.
can show you the spreadsheet. These numbers kicked in using our budget for FY '26 for
Yes, sir.
utilities.
Okay.
We put 40% of the total utility expense towards water, 40% to sewer, 20% to gas,
Okay.
and kind of split unless we can isolate it, like wastewater, we know there's one bill for the utility authority, that's all
Yeah, that's
charged
in
to
and out.
wastewater.
Almost a pass through.
You know, if something's gas, it goes strict to gas.
Mm-hmm.
But if we couldn't tell, we just dispersed it.
Okay.
And
I
so,
think
and that's what we've done the last 3 years with him.
I think we still probably 7 years out total on the SRF loans that we pay back each month. We got 2 SRF loans with the county through, utility authority, and we have one with, just a loan they have, that'd be paid off in 5 years. 2 SRFs will be paid off in 7 years. I know that's a long ways down the road, that's a big chunk of the money we pay.
Yeah.
Same, all entities are paying it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
And, But you're right though, we try to increase it, I think it was 3 years ago when Mr. Allen came in and did that study, we had an increase then, and we've
Mhm.
increased it, each time we needed to, for budget and everything.
Okay.
And the garbage, in terms of the garbage rate, that's an annual CPI, it looks like it was about 3%. Is that it? Oh,
That's a tad bit more than what it was rounded up to that just to have a cost there.
is there a that's just pass through though. Is there a cap
It's a
on that?
pass through if everybody,
There- Is there a cap on the CPI?
Yeah.
yeah.
There is, I think in the
think-
contract, if I remember right.
I think it was
it's been a
5.
few years.
And we've assessed, has it always been up to 3% or 5% every year,
I think
over
it's
year?
5%. No,
I think the max is 5
Yeah.
per year.
I think they're using whatever this current CPI is
yeah.
and
Do you remember what
giving that to us every year.
2.3 something.
It's like 2.3 something or whatever
Okay.
this year.
Just my thoughts, I'm only one.
That number was, I think it's 2.3. Nancy, you remember what that number was? 2.3?
Yeah, it's under.
Yeah, but it's a little bit more on that to cover, and so.
Just to keep moving, the building department fee schedule is unchanged. The same thing with the permitting and zoning fee schedule, unchanged. Harbor event rates, unchanged from the previous year, just updated the year. Same thing with community center rental rates. So that's Bay St. Louis Community Hall as well as Old Town Community Center. There's, again, no recommended change from the administration. And then train depot rental rates, again, no change, but thanks to Kala, did get that updated. Public records request, last year we created a public records ordinance with a fee schedule. The only change here, which we've identified, was when somebody asks for something in the building department, it's a large print, we can't do that in-house, so we have to outsource it. So I called SNL and got their price, what they would charge us, and it's basically $5 and $6, depending on if it's color or black and white. So I did add those 2 line items to that one, which was different than last year. And then finally, the slip rentals for the harbor, working with Sean. Basically, utility rates have increased. That's where he thought the concern was, and we did budget for, I think it was a total of about 20,000 revenue increase for harbor. So by putting it in the utility section, I think it was a 10% basically. So it went up $4 for your 30 amp and $6 for a 50 amp on a monthly basis. And that kind of summarizes the changes for all the fee schedules, things like that.
To Josh's point here, I don't, obviously at this point in the budgeting process, might be too late to address it this year, but just thinking of, I think we do a good job of covering our current costs, planning for tomorrow, but looking at a 10-year plan, I don't know if we're charging enough for future maintenance that may come up. I think that's the
And I think,
point Josh was.
again, when Alan's here, he can talk to you about it, but he's, for the 3 years he's been with us, he's basically said our water rates are low.
Yeah.
Compared.
I paid and that's the thing, Ward 6 residents are paying $22.50 for their basic water, not $7, I mean, and they maintain a good system, the guys have nice trucks, through Hancock Water, so I mean, they run a great thing, they got good equipment, and that's what you need. I mean, I'm a business person, I'm not the cheapest, cause I can't be, I mean, cause usually the cheapest ones struggle or don't make it for a reason, because you have to charge what it costs to operate your that's the enterprise system. That system needs to be able to fund itself. We need to charge a rate that covers it. And I just feel we've always been way too low on utility rates in the city, and I feel it's gonna bite us. It would bite us right now. We're very blessed that all these other things came through for us right now. If not, we'd be in a bond. I mean, cause and that's my point is, we're not putting enough to say, all right, we're gonna extend water line the rest of the way down Washington Street to the bridge, we're not putting money aside to go from 2 or 3 inch lines to 6 inch lines in some spots, we're not banking on none of that or planning on that in our fee schedule to say, we're gonna need this promoted, or, you know, just, that's just what I see and feel, you know.
Yeah, I think we had, Mike, if you remember off the top of your head, 3 or 400,000 going out of operation into the capital maintenance for utilities.
Yeah.
Which to do large scale projects, I would agree with you, it's not sufficient. I mean, if you got a rainy day fund, if something goes wrong, you gotta get a new motor on a sewer lift station or something,
No.
you know.
One blow
But
up
if
could
you're
be
talking
50
about
grand.
upsizing your water lines, doing other major stuff, then obviously that's not gonna carry you into those projects.
Because as we see in growth and development all through the city, we're gonna have to make sure them systems can handle the growth and development that's coming to them. I mean, cause we still got some portions of property that could be something one day, you know?
Sure.
So, I mean, we just,
But I think, and I agree, I think, you know, to be proactive though, you'd have to get some forecast and pro forma as to what, you know, where do we stand on some of the maintenance, or if there, you know, if you look at the worst case scenario, what would the cost be, so we can justify and rationalize increasing the rates, but we wanna have some hard numbers to point to. I don't know if that's been forecasted out, or what, if a system fails, what's that gonna be replaced?
Well, they're going through now, they'll do all our lift stations, that's part of that ARPA project that
That's,
they just got approved.
yeah.
With,
Mhm.
a couple meetings ago, whatever.
Bay motor line.
But anyway, they're getting ready to start that, so that's gonna give us a lot of
That'll give you the
information on our
baseline,
lift stations and
yeah.
everything.
That's gonna give you a lift
Let
station.
us know what's
side.
out there, what kind of shape they're in, and all there. I think we just finished up pretty much the water study and all, that Kenichi has done for us to show the lines that need to be increased in size, and also opportunities to go down Washington Street, Blue Meadow Road, wherever it is that needs to get on city water and all.
But-
Unfortunately, we can't spread out to some of the areas that's in Ward 6,
Yeah.
because it's not our system, but if there's a way we can find to help them get grants and all, we need to look at that as well, to also try to get people off wells out there and get them on the water system.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to get the grants on their own, but it's an opportunity either through the city or through the utility authority to help them get funds for this. I think the utility authority has a grant in, been trying to get, I think it's Go Mesa funds, I forgot what the amount is, but they're still trying to get funds for that as well, so.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, we all look fortunate, we have been very lucky, on a lot. And again, you know, we try to increase since the last 3 or 4 years as needed, whether it's at 2 or 3%. This time here is on more than half the people, probably be at least a 10% raise on theirs, so.
Yeah.
But Josh, just to kind of summarize some of the other projects, I know Phase 3 of ARPA's gonna give us an assessment of lift stations, so that's really our sewer side of things. We got a forgivable loan for a new water well that's in the works, that's over $2 million. That'll be, again, that's grant basically, let's call it. We know we need a new water tower, we applied for that forgivable loan. Was not approved. So that's a couple of $1 million if you want to do a water tower. You know, and then you've got to look at the upsizing of lines. So again,
I
the
guess
water
that's what-
side, we know where we have water lines that need to be, instead of 2 inches, they should be 4 inches or something like that. So I mean, those are major projects.
I guess that's where we need to get with the utility authority, because Hancock County is probably the most over-governed county in utilities, and they got a well sitting right there by the soccer field. I mean, 2 towers sitting by the soccer fields right now.
One's
So,
dead.
huh?
One's dead, huh?
It could come back, you
Yeah,
know?
right.
Yeah, it's offline right now because they're buying from utility authority, but I mean, if we was tied in there and buying some more from them, that would probably count towards our rating of capacity also, you know? So I think we got a new group up here. It might be time to explore and look at it, since we might have some
Well,
open minds.
well,
and
you know, the
fresh
well we getting is not our final answer. You know, it's not gonna put us to where we're up here with water. If you look at the age of our wells and everything, and we're very fortunate to have what we have, but this one does not put us over the hurdle where we're in need of water. You know, I think we're still around in the upper 80s, 90% in that range of capacity.
And can you explain that to some of the council members? No, I think once you hit like 9%, you can't really hook up no more people with water or something.
We
when you
received a
hit certain
letter
level.
a couple weeks back, maybe maybe a month or two ago, that we was above capacity 114%, and that we couldn't issue any more water, meters out, couldn't get water in new houses. And got to digging, and they had, the wrong number had got sent in, but that's how close we are with the new number punched in and all, what we collect and what we, as far as what we charge for the amount being used and being treated compared to what we have. We're still close to 90%. So we're at that point to where there's not a lot more building can go on and say we can continue. So we have options. This well, again, is a short-term solution because it does give us more capacity. But again, the long-term solution is it buying water from them, for the utility authority joining in with them, and it does a few things. Even if we just buy X amount, it gives us that capability. Even though that line is sitting right there on Washington Street and is ready to be open, pretty close, it wouldn't take much to get it. A little purging and this and that, it would be ready for operation. We cannot count that water as part of ours because it's not turned on, even though it can be turned on today. And so to have it on there with us, then it needs to be open and used. And that's something we can always look at.
I think we need to, and probably maybe have Ms. Patalo come in here and talk to the new board and explain it. 'Cause like I say, we almost gonna need it to keep growth going and development going.
We're one well,
You know,
again, I think Harry Street's 50-something years old, whatever it is over there. Our two small wells, St. Charles, and then, it's all, our wells have been old. 10th Street's the only thing we have that is newer,
yeah.
so we still in need of water further.
And
It's
somebody
a temporary fix.
may be able to explain it better than me, I know, but the health department, just for the rest of the council, regulate wastewater treatment plants and water. And when you hit a certain capacity, you have to have an expansion plan, or they're gonna cease you from issuing
Again,
any
they
more
sent us a letter
sewer and
saying
water
we was over
taps.
capacity. We was
Mhm.
114% of capacity, and we were not to issue any more permits, anything, for new residents hookups.
That's what I say, so maybe some kind of class like that would be good, or somebody come in and just talk to us about it.
One thing we can always look at as well, and do you go in and charge a fee to plan for this now, or do you wait for the time to come and you go out and get a bond to cover it at the time it comes, or do you charge your fees now to cover it and start building that $2, $3, $5 million up that's needed? So there's a couple options you can do. You can do it through fees to increase, but if something major comes up, there's always an opportunity to go out and get a grant. Then you increase not a grant, a loan, a bond, and then you raise your rates to cover that bond. When the bond's over with, then you take it off the thing, off your billing.
Yeah, I think we kind of found it, maybe take something from what Kyle said, try to identify some of those projects that we may not have grants for currently, and then in the future, that way we can start planning and say, okay, this money's gonna be reserved for this project, whether it's this year, next year, whenever we have enough, and then whatever additionally we may need, we could go for the bond on.
Yep.
But I think we could really take some time and
I mean, if we
identify
go
those. That
down-
would be good.
Well, I would just say the other
Service
thing
road.
that, it hasn't been mentioned is also the idea of expanding your gas service into some other areas that are highly dense, where when you run down a street, you can hit 20 houses.
Well, what would that take? Because I know there's
Yeah.
been areas in Ward 4 that don't have that access.
Yeah, that's
so.
And that's pretty much where I was thinking just now, in
Are
that
you-
comment, kind of behind the post office area, all that area.
Yes.
There's a bunch.
We have identified, I'm sure, in a map throughout the city who doesn't have access, right? Do we know what estimation of the cities doesn't have gas access?
We have that in GIS and mapping,
It's in
show you
Is
I
it
don't know what that is,
exactly
but they have
where
that.
we have lines.
I mean, would it be a I would think minority of the residential areas, or?
Probably, I would think.
And I,
The biggest area we looked at taking, or not taking, but offering would be from Mose Pines Trail to the highway, from Bush Log all the way back into 7th Street, all that area, Victoria, and all through that, where it's heavy populated. It doesn't make sense to go down to hit one house to run.
yeah, you'd want to
mile
get
gas.
chunks of it.
The other one across the highway, if it's available, we can get over there, would be going down Blue Meadow Road, Longfellow and hit, Cadillac and that and there where it's, dense in that area. So, they have it outlined where we could go, and ideas where to go next, just like the water, where we're showing smaller lines and possibility of increasing those lines. You get down the service road past Frugal's down there, if a major developer wants to come in there, we don't have the opportunity to do that. We would have to do infrastructure in there to get some of that done.
And Risa, you mentioned we're rolling over about 300 to 400,000 from the utilities to the capital fund, right?
And we've done that before. I mean, we've
Yeah.
done with some
I think last
surpluses.
year
I
we
think y'all
put
did more.
500 in.
So year to year, we're rolling
We're
that
rolling
money over. I just think if there's any increase in rates, we just need to have a very solid plan in terms of, okay, this is where it's going towards, and this is, we
Agreed.
need X amount for this project, or to get 90% of the city with gas, or whatever it could be. I just think we just need to forecast that out and have some definable goals. But that's
Again,
still,
the undersized water lines and your storage tank, those are two things that we have submitted and tried to get funding for, and we'll continue to try to get. But those are things that are out there, they're real, that we do have to address, and they cost money.
Any other questions or discussion?
So overall, on the utility rates, Mike, you said it was about a 10% for,
For over
It's
that, mark. It's gonna be,
I know Josh has brought up some concerns. I just want to, that's about what the rate is, rate increase that some people would feel.
yeah.
So if the council wanted to do something different, now would be your time to do that. Otherwise, I mean, again, you can change rates and adjust things during the year. But if you had reservation, then I would yank that one off your consent agenda, and maybe if there was a proposal to do something different, then
I
y'all
like
could
to,
do that.
maybe we'll
But
wait till
I
he
think
comes,
you do have about a 10% increase. with the
wait
way
till he
it
comes,
is.
gives his report and kinda
Right.
see that, and maybe Jason finishes his study I was talking about, we can look at that, like Mr. Lewis said, to give us some goals and reasons to where we
One
wanna
of,
be at in
one of
10
the things,
years.
Josh, when you look at his spreadsheet, them two ought to get together, but it shows for years to come. Like this year, we're gonna be this much to the good, next year, we're gonna be here, and that's based on increase of cost. And then it shows, I think it's 5 years out,
Yeah, it's about
I
5
think
years.
it's 5 years out, shows if you kept everything just like it is, when you start losing money, which we don't wanna get to that.
Right.
So each year, if you watch his spreadsheet, it clearly shows every year and with what. And when he puts it up there, it's pretty good, cause he can
yeah.
make a switch and show you right then there what a dime does, what 10% does, or anything, and it'll show a 5 years,
And
outlook on it.
did we kinda do an audit on meter set fees on gas and sewer taps? I
They're
mean,
working
'cause-
on that
that-
now.
Cause I
Yeah.
know we can lose money on, at $7 a month, if you lose $300 every time you put the water meter in, say increased, and we haven't increased our rates,
That's one of the things.
you're not gonna
you know,
recover water for next
Yeah,
5 or 6
yeah.
years.
They didn't get a chance to put together, but that'll come before, probably, hopefully for our meeting coming up in next week and all to,
Everything I buy has went way up in cost,
oh,
everything, especially when it comes to PVC pipe,
and-
plastic, anything.
Well,
like
and
that.
one of the
especially if
things
the
we're
idea is
having
you
now-
start cutting roads,
Yes,
and what's that cost?
yeah,
You know,
Mhm.
so
we just changed a meter out, which was, we let it go for what we pay,
Mhm.
but it was a larger meter, but it kept us from cutting the road, so really, we came out way ahead with the cost.
yeah, I
That's
just,
something we need to look at, when we can use a larger meter without going down and changing everything and cutting the road, where we really do well at.
yeah, good, I just,
But Ronnie is working on that on the
Good.
installation side to bring us a
Yeah.
kind of a fee structure for that
yes,
to
okay,
you
good.
guys.
Yeah.
Good.
Any other questions or discussion?
No.
Okay.
Can you, I'm sorry,
Very good.
Jordan, Can y'all get us a harbor rate study with the other harbors, Pass and Gulfport or whatever, and kinda see where we're ranking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we went up some last year with theirs,
Yeah.
so what we doing here was Sean's suggestion, I don't know if he has that rate full from the other harbors, so this is utilities is where we can.
That's where he felt like our strain was that we weren't charging enough on the utility side.
Didn't we put an auto escalator in that?
Huh?
Didn't we put an auto escalator in that, in the slip rental? Increases percentage every year?
That we can do that.
Okay.
I think we might have discussed that 2 or 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
I think we put something in,
I
but
think
it's,
we've gone up each year with it.
I'll have to go back and look. I mean, 'cause that's one thing that I think should go up too, just my opinion.
I don't think it was a huge amount, or maybe it's that the city, like you said, Mayor, can assess up to this percentage, but I don't know if it was an auto, can't remember if it was an auto escalator, if it was,
I don't
we
remember
could
if it's
assess it
auto or
based.
not,
Okay.
but I remember it being, talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Any other questions or discussion?
I'm gonna be quiet now.
Okay, I'll call for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Smith. Do I have a second?
A second, Davis.
Second by Davis. Any other discussion? Vote the motion.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries 7-0. I'll call for a motion to adjourn the recessed meeting of September 9th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Smith. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Falba. Any discussion? Vote the motion.
Aye.
Aye.